I am currently floating above a big group of bokoblins, and I'm about to take them out in the most nasty way imaginable. Yeah. And you know what the worst part is? I'm not even going to stick around for the spoils. I'm just going to keep going. I just felt like doing that. Oh well. Anyway, so, full transparency here. This episode is actually post-commentated because I did something stupid in Audacity. I, like, closed it out before I exported the file and just yada yada. Couldn't retrieve it, yabba. So, if I seem to be talking over cuts like that one there just now, and that's why. I kind of got this, just edited this video kind of normally and thought, okay, I'm just going to have to post-commentate over it. Like, I didn't want to post-commentate for a whole hour when, you know, like, 20 minutes of it or whatever was going to get cut. Well, I guess this one was only 50 minutes, and I ended up cutting, like, basically half of it, because half the time in the middle of the video I was stopping to, like, look at the map or figure out where I was going. But anyway, this cave here, Deep Back Bay Cave, not to be confused with Deep Cut, Sexy Back. I don't know what comparison to make here. So this shrine's kind of like dipped in the water here a little bit. That's weird. So we're gonna have to jump in the holes probably and drain it. That is if Mr. Floor Cleaner here doesn't try to kill us first. Okay, let's get him in there. He just falls down the hole. That's funny. That's some funny shit there. Anyway. Yeah, draining the water is actually not that complicated. You think it would be like some huge switch or something that you gotta hit like you're in the water temple, but lest we forget, we're not in the water temple. We're not even in a temple. It's actually just a hole right up here in the ceiling. And if we just bomb arrow this, we've officially solved the puzzle. Let me just scroll through my crap here. Let me just go doom scrolling here. Yeah, speaking of doom scrolling, man, Twitter's getting hard for me to read lately. I've heard people complain about it for a long time now. And I was always just kind of like, well, I don't know, maybe it's just whatever. But it never really bothered me that much. And now recently, it's I don't know. Stuff starting to bother, and I don't know. I'm not going to talk like about politics or anything like that. But I think I did notice that I think the Twitter algorithm is set up in such a way that the more you look at something, the more it tends to give you that in your feed. But I guess it also depends on whether you look at For You or following. And a lot of times I look at For You because that's how I find a lot of interesting stuff that I probably wouldn't have found otherwise. But I'll tell you, man, if you click on too many things, you know, but just a lot of times I click on things just out of curiosity, and it ends up being something that, like, that's completely disgusting that somebody's doing or something. And it's like, I go to click on it to watch the video or to see what the replies are, and then next thing you know, it's showing me 10 other things like that next time I come back, so I'm like, ugh. So yeah, it has been getting a little tricky lately. I know some people say, you know, you just get off the platform, just leave it, don't even look at it again. Which would be easy if Twitter wasn't such a huge part of how I communicate with people. Although, to be fair, lately I haven't tweeted that much. Like, I tweeted the picture of, like, that one video where I was standing by the tree and Link's face was all stuck in the tree. I thought that was funny, so I tweeted a picture of that. I usually don't really use Twitter to communicate with people. It's like I just post funny pictures now and then, and that's about it. So I'm not interested in adding to the drama, you know? This is a cool puzzle, actually. You have to rewind the ball after moving the thing over. The only problem is I made the mistake of turning off rewind here, so the ball fell back out of the switch there, so I had to do it over. Okay, that was not the most graceful cut right there, but oh well. I'm not like a professional at this. That's what people keep telling me. I'm just a professional. Anyway, you know, as we slide to the Last of Us, Part 2. It's just, like, seriously. I don't know. I guess I get why people do that, though. Why they try to act all like this is an official show or something, like on TV. They try to, like, emulate that. I've always tried to stay away from that, but I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Maybe I should just fall in with the crowd here on this one. Anyway. Oh, I missed the treasure in here, so actually you hit the switch and run over here and ascend. It's actually pretty simple. If you don't happen to notice that little platform jutting out there, you might not see that, but there it is. Because at first I thought you had to, like, climb up to where the thing was that you put the ball into and, like, walk across that. I think that would have been cool, but no, yeah, well. I mean, whatever. It's like this and that would have been cool, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, that takes care of that. So let me see, is this the part where I finally do the Yiga thing? So here's the thing, there's actually another Yiga. Oh, no, I didn't get the Bubbulfrog in here, yeah. It's behind the shrine, so I had to go get that. And there he is. Well, I'm not sure why I walked all the way up to him there. You could have just shot him from afar, and now you don't even know where he is. There he is. Yeah, there's another Yiga exam that I never did while I was over there, so I guess we're going to be getting more use out of that Yiga armor after all. But, oh yeah, there's something down here, which I'm surprised I didn't see, because I did get the 2 Koroks that were there. It's a bottle that's sitting in the ocean, and hoo boy. This one takes a while. There's like a little garbage sitting around here. Yeah, but it's not like they don't... They do leave stuff around here to kind of draw you into the area to say, well, what else is over here? But I guess when you spend the whole game picking up stuff, eventually you get to a point where I don't need this stuff, so I don't pick it up anymore. And so you just don't. So I kind of just walked away from it. But it turned out the reason those bright bloom seeds were sitting out there is to kind of draw the player's attention that way, because there's a bottle there, and this bottle is a message left by... I mean, it's a classic case of message in a bottle, really. It's like, hey, can you come find me and rescue me? And of course, he was lucky I just happened to be here, because nobody else is around here, I'll tell you that. So, I mean, what he said in the letter was he left a trail of bright bloom seeds out on the sea, because they float, which is not something probably not one of the first properties you would think of when it comes to them, but yeah, indeed they do. So some of the seeds are actually stuck to stuff, and so they put out a lot more light, so they're easier to see from far away, but basically we're just going to follow this trail across the sea here. Yeah, I pointed down to Tanoco Island there because I thought that's where we were headed. Little did I know, the journey's a little bit longer than that. I didn't cut any of this out because I kind of felt like... I mean, I guess I could have, because basically you know what to do. But at the same time, it's always kind of a tricky line. Like, do I really show all this? Is it really necessary to when you already know what to do? But then that comes with the question of, you know, is it a Let's Play or is it a walkthrough? I very much, as I've mentioned before, I prefer the walkthrough format, but I also understand that some people might think it's boring if you just make videos where all you do is say, okay, and then you do this, and then you do that, you know. But a lot of times people end up looking those videos up for information. But, like, if you're looking for information on Tears of the Kingdom, like I've been doing, if you're doing research for it to try to figure out how to do something, or you're looking for the location of a Bubbulfrog, like, the last thing you're going to do is come to one of my videos, because they're all 20 minutes long. And it's like, looking for the specific information you need would be so, you know, asinine that why would you even waste your time doing that? What you should do, what I always end up doing, is typing the name of the cave, Bubbulfrog, location, and most of the time I don't even have to fill in the search bar, because it already knows what I'm looking for, and it makes it the first suggested, you know, search. And look how long this is taking for us to do this. It's a lucky thing I found something to talk about. But yeah. So, and usually, you know, one of the first videos that'll show up will be from that quick tips guy. The guy who says, don't subscribe to me. He is so funny. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't know if he means to be, but man, I don't know. I think it's hilarious. Yeah, he's very helpful, and his videos are all like 1 minute long. So you go in, you watch the video, you see where the frog is, you go get it, you know. That's what walkthrough videos are for. So why do I think, you know, that I want to do that, you know? I don't know. So, and I always do kind of have this anxiety about, you know, being bad at video games. I always kind of have. It started all the way back in Super Mario Sunshine when people were like calling me out for, I don't know, failing at like really simple tasks in the game. And I had that one video where I was like, I'm tired of being stupid. And it's like, oh God, I can still hear myself saying that. And it's like, oh man. I was trying so hard not to deflect, because I know that's like the most tempting thing to do. There's actually, I kind of don't want to bring this up, there is someone who's in a lot of trouble right now, you know, for kind of, for saying some things that you probably shouldn't be saying on this platform, but I'm going to tell you. I don't know. I feel bad for them, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to say who it is. I mean, you can probably, some of you probably already know. And it's not a big deal. Like, I mean, it is a big deal for them, and it is a big deal if this is happening, and I did have to ban them from my Discord yesterday, so. But, yeah, like, I don't know, it was going too far. I hate to say it. Anyway, let's change the subject. Oh. Let's see, well, as long as I'm just, like, sitting here riding a raft, I guess I could read some comments over here. God, this part is so miserable. Don't they know we have to build a bar on Lulutopia? Yeah, these are comments on Dragon Quest. What's up with the sound echoing? Yeah, actually, I do need to fix that, actually. Maybe start turning the TV down again or something. Because, like, I've been using this new mic, and I thought maybe that it wouldn't pick up the background noise of the game as much as my old one did, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So I guess maybe I've gotten a little too comfortable with turning the game up in the background, thinking that it wouldn't get picked up by the mic, but sometimes it still does. At this point, I think I lost the next Bright Room seed, and I was like, where's the next one? There it is, right there. Sometimes there are long stretches where they're not stuck to something, so you have to look for just the seed. And there's the cave right there. So I got confused here because the way it was going, the way it was taking me, the direction it was taking me, I thought I was headed for that other cave up at the end of the shaft. That long dick cave. Yeah, this one over here. You know, and I called it like the foreskin cave or something because it looked like it was going into the foreskin of the shaft. Anyway. But no, this is another cave that actually we haven't been to yet. So here we are, you know. Holy crap. Anyway, so we're here. Man, after all that, oh yeah, I had to cut there because it took me too long to figure out that there was a rock in the back here. He did say in his message, like, oh, there's a rock that's trapped me in. But, like, rock or no rock, if you get to this cave and you're trapped in here, you don't exactly have a way out. Well, maybe you do, though, because he had a boat. So, like, yeah, I guess he did. Huh, never mind. There he is. Who are you? You know what? I don't care. I'm not reading dialogue in this video, not when I'm post-commentating, because I don't know when my past self is going to press the button to advance the dialogue, so I'm just not going to say anything and pretend like people can just read it, you know, and mute the video and read it if you want. But why in the world would you mute the video to read dialogue from a video game when you can just play the video game? You could totally do that, but instead you're doing this crap. I don't even know why you're doing this. Anyway, there's a campfire next to you, and I'm not sure why it's not lit, but I guess after a long time you run out of ways to light a fire. You know, you run out of flint, you run out of, like, fire seeds and whatever else, and... I kept it up for pretty long there. I do like the way those mushrooms look behind him. There's like a little fog in the air. And it's kind of the light from them is diffusing off of it. Oh, he's up to his feet. I'm not 100% sure that this isn't the guy that gave us the boat side quest in Lurelin Village, actually. I think there's a possibility it might be the same guy, but I don't know. Like, let's be honest here. NPCs in this game are not really all that unique from each other. A lot of them are kind of boring, as much as I hate to say it. Like, there's some that are memorable, but it's a shame that so many of the ones that are memorable because of the memes. You know, like the flower lady and whatever else. Anyway, the Bubbulfrog's up here. Where did we just descended to get to it? Here I go, I'm in walkthrough mode again. Yeah. But I don't know, like if you really pay attention to them, like go out of your way to remember them, then yeah, there are definitely some, and there's like a nice sense of continuity between the first game and this one. I pointed that out in a few videos before, and it's actually pretty fascinating to see just how good of a job they did paying attention to what each character was doing in the first game and giving them something in this game that follows up on what they were doing in the first game. Man, it's hot. So here we go, we're heading to do this Yiga exam now, which somehow I didn't do. I don't know why I got this door confused with the actual Yiga hideout that I did go to, where I had to fight and all inside. This is like a totally different spot right here. And I never went back and did this, so... Yep. We're doing it now. He's talking to me. Alright, he's talking to you. Yiga Blade Master Station. You know, this is another thing. Like, I don't know why there aren't more Blade Masters out there in the game. Almost all the Yiga fights you do are against just regular old Yiga mans. Like, where are these guys? You know, I mean, they're out there. I think one of them attacks you when you try to go to the Akala research lab or whatever. But aside from that, and a few in the Yiga hideout that we went to before, you really don't see them that often. You know, in the first game, they were all over the place. They attacked all the time, and it was intimidating, and they were hard. And you would die, and it would put you in a shitty mood. Now it's just like, well... Now they just kind of hang out in these hideouts, and this guy's actually a real sweetie. I know, like, who would have ever thought you'd call one of these guys a sweetie, but... I don't know, man. Yeah, this guy's nice enough to tell you about the quest, and even give you the bananas. He gives you the bananas to put into the spots that he just marked on the map for us. Like, in terms of gameplay, once again, this is not that interesting of a quest. It's going to a spot, setting a fruit down, going to a second spot, setting a fruit down. It's not really unlike the temples, if we're being honest here. Or if I'm being honest. I don't want to say we're, like you're with me or something, even though you are. I love that there's holes in these doors. Anyway, so one of these spots we've actually seen already, because I got really confused when I saw it, and I thought it was a Korok. Turns out it's not. So the first one I'm going to grab is just right here under the bridge, because I don't ever want to feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love, baby. Yeah, there it is, right down there. They're pretty easy to spot, even from far away, because they have some flames around them. But also, some of them are in caves, so you won't be able to just fly to them and simply do whatever. If there's one thing that I could say that's good about this challenge, it's that even if they do tell you where the spots are on the map, that you don't know where they are in terms of verticality. They could be up, they could be down, and this is a very vertical-oriented area, so yeah, I think I'm going to go for this one. Oh, there's so many of them. Okay, so this is the one that I left out of the video, apparently. I'm going to go back and find it and put the footage in there, because I don't want to not show all 5 of these, even though I'm about to spend the next 15 minutes talking about whether or not it's really important to do that. Huh, enjoy that discussion. Anyway, here it is. It's funny to think, you know, that this actually did have a purpose, and when I first saw it, I was like, what is this? It did seem too important to not have a purpose. I just didn't know what it was, because I had never done that side quest before. It's really weird, man. Anyway, okay, back to past self, but who is actually future self, who is like middle self. I don't know. Yeah. Shoot, did I cut out the one by the rare stone talus? I think I might have. Yeah, this one's in a cave here. You gotta come at it from the north side. This cave is actually kind of big. You get in here and there's like sort of construction or something going on in here. Like, I don't know what was meant to be with this. It's a shame how much environmental storytelling there is in the game that you never really get any kind of follow-up on. It's just, you're just left to wonder, like, who built this? Why is this here? And you just never know. I don't mean to come down so hard on it, but once again, I just finished watching that Skibbity toilet video like 3 times now, or 2 times, 2.5 times. Okay, Tulin shot a bat there, and I was like stunned. Where did that key eyeball come from? I was wondering. So there is a chest in here too, I believe I grab right here. I think I cut out myself getting the one by the rare stone talus. But I have shown the rare stone talus though, haven't I? I might have to go back and check the video again and see, because I might need to bring that back and put it in here, because if I don't show it, then it's not really complete. You know? That's the other thing too. It's like, why bother showing anything at all? It's like there's a part of me that thinks, is it really important to show all 5 of these when I can just say where they are? But if you're gonna do that, it's like, why even make the videos at all? It's so weird, because there's not really any rules when it comes to stuff like this. If you leave something out, you could just say, oh, well, I did this and that. There are plenty of things I leave out, God knows. I mean, half the time when I'm going off screen and grinding off of stuff, grinding dragon parts, dragon rare stone taluses, grinding, you know, the whatever you call them, the crystallized charges, you know. Man, I spent hours doing that. I would almost say days. Yeah, this one up here is also in a cave, and that's the cave entrance I'm looking at right there on the map. But there's actually a second cave entrance here by this waterfall that goes into the other side of the cave, which I am now flying towards. So we can feed 2 birds with one hand here and get the cave entrance. And also get the Bubbulfrog inside. Sounds good. Power windows. Sorry, just the tone of that I said there just reminded me of Jeff Goldblum in Independence Day. Jeez, it hit me with a rock. The reflection in the water, actually, for a few seconds there looked really cool. Okay, this is where you put the banana, yeah. Oh wait, actually, I already have the Bubbulfrog in this cave, so never mind. Yeah, we don't have to look for that. Well, that's certainly a relief. So bananas and go. I was actually a little bit sneaky with some of the cuts here. When I got those bananas out of my inventory just now, I actually had to look for them. So I cut out the parts where I was looking for them. Normally, like in a normal recording, I probably wouldn't do that because I'd probably be saying something as I was looking for them. I actually think it's more likely I wouldn't say anything. Because usually when I'm recording, I'm smart enough to know whether or not I'm doing something that is necessarily going to need to be shown. But like, with a game like this, as long as this is, like, this is already the longest LP I've ever done. And so, I'm not saying that means we need to hurry it up or get through it or anything like that. But I also think that sometimes it's just not necessary to waste people's time with showing stuff like that. Like myself scrolling through the inventory screen trying to find something. Like here, I got it right away because I just used them last time, so that's no problem. But if it takes more than 5 seconds to do something that simple, I really just don't see the point. You know, because that's literally 1% of the video. Well, no, it's not. It's because 1% would mean the video is 500 seconds long, which is not even 10 minutes. It's still like 0.3% of the video, though. But, you know, if you have to cut that out of a video 10 times, which you probably would in an hour's or 50 minutes worth of playtime, you know, now you're cutting basically an entire minute out of the video, 5 seconds each time, times 10, well, it's 50 seconds, whatever. So now you've cut a minute out. That's more than 1%. That's almost 2% of the video. 2% of the playtime getting cut because, like, it doesn't need to be there. It's like, as far as I'm concerned, 2% is pretty big when you're talking about, like, quality of time. It's not that I'm, like, that serious, because I do say, well, I'm not a professional here, and yet I do all this stuff where you would think I was. You know, I put too much stock into the tiniest things like that. Like, even warping, you know, when you're warping from one place to another, it's 20 seconds of a loading screen. I try to cut most of those out unless I'm talking over them. But, you know, by the time you cut 10 of those out in an hour's worth of playtime, that's 200 seconds. That's 3.5 minutes. So, yeah, so that right there, 3.5 minutes out of 50, that's almost 10% of it. I'd say more like 6 or 7%, but still. Anyway, just getting some treasure chests here. But yeah, I don't really know what I'm getting at with this, why I'm talking about this. Like, I wasn't trying to lead to anything. I'm not trying to justify myself for editing, because I know some people don't like that think that I do it too much, and I understand that totally. Oh my gosh, yes. Forgot I got this thing. 8-fold long blade, you know? So I decided to fuse what to it? Again, a process that takes 20 seconds here. You know, but if people are going to talk about how boring a game is because you spend, you know, 15 minutes building a vehicle just to use the vehicle for 1 minute, it's like, well, that would be even worse then if you were actually watching the video. Of course, I guess part of the fun of it is also the thought process that you're going through while you're building the vehicle, and maybe that's the real fun of it, you know, is seeing what somebody's thinking while they're doing all that. The problem is that, as much as I'd love to believe it, not all of my thoughts are that interesting, you know, to the point that I need to leave every single thing wide open for everyone to see. Like, if they want to see it, I guess, it would be just like they were hanging out with me. It doesn't necessarily have to be super interesting. This is not like, well... It's funny, you know, the 8 show has got me thinking about this a lot, because in the 8 show, they basically have to be entertaining to survive. Or, well, not to survive, but to get more time on the clock so they can make more money. It's a long story, but yeah. So, and it's funny because I kind of relate to that, because I've, especially in the last 5 or 10 years, I've started to really kind of be acutely aware, well, I've said this too, acutely aware of the passage of time, but also acutely aware of whether or not I'm doing something with that time, with all of that time. But I just had the discussion in the other video where I was saying, yeah, but when you do nothing, that's also relaxing too, but it's better if somebody else forces you to do nothing so that you don't have to feel guilty about wasting the time. It's like, I don't know, there's so much to think about when it comes to stuff like this, I don't even know. I guess I decided to come back here and get heart containers, even though I only had 10. Like, when I got up to 9, I was like, okay, I guess I'll just go to 12 and then get 3 heart containers at once. But then I got to 10 and I was like, well, I don't have anything else to do in this video, so I'm going to go get these heart containers. I did start working on more Koroks, and I haven't put that Bubbulfrog footage together yet. I guess I'm going to have to eventually, but yeah, I'll get around to it. So now we have, what, 32? I think that's 32. It's a lot of hearts, man. A lot of heart, I tell you. Yeah, I'm going to need to go back and, find that other footage that I didn't put in of me finding that 5th thing. Like, I know where it was, but I need to go back and show it. It's going to be weird, though, because then in the video, I'm going to show it, and then I'm going to come back and act like I didn't show it, and then sit and talk about that for the next 15 minutes, which is basically what I just did. Anyway, we're behind the same bush we were in a different video, but hey, it's starting to feel like home at this point. See you guys later.